Hello, editing here. I just want to say this video is for anybody. Um, it's for robots, it can be for robots, but there's some important principles here which will help you play with other characters. Also, I could drop a few important things might benefit from, and maybe it's entertaining for you, and I'm glad. Thanks for watching. Shortly after, throughout the video, I'll be explaining or giving you more and more reasons to use Bombos, and I'll actually show you how that looks like, and I'll explain everything. Alright? Thanks. Hello. I want to run you guys down through the basics of robot bombos. It's a portmanteau of bomb and combos, and is characterized by, well, robot, of course, using the remote bomb to, well, combo. And the reason why this is why it's, I guess you could call it necessary to know this at the moment, or why it's viable to know, is because, well, for a few reasons. Number one, the typical best all-around combo that robot has in the corner, it just got nerfed in a very significant way. Chainsaw disables collision with your body now, so your opponent could just DI in and out of the corner and phase right through you. So that combo's completely gone. So this is your alternative. You mix this and a little bit of the Bombo, or just make it a complete Bombo combo to replace that in your roots and punishes. So that's one. Number two, bomb in and of itself can open up some very burst safe damage, which is, it's understated how valuable that is. You picture this. Burst safety is on a spectrum. You could be like the entire combo, or a certain amount of damage, like 5,000 for example, 5k, could be completely burst safe. Burst safe means any situation where burst completely does not matter. No, does not matter completely. But sometimes on B is a combo where a burst would in fact matter every single time. Robot bombos are typically, at least in some segments, completely burst safe. Of course, at some point, the burst could probably hit the bomb right back at you. In some situations, might be able to look at it here. Regardless. And number three, bomb has high minimum damage. It's almost 900, I believe. There's a damage connected to the detonation of the bomb and the actual hitbox of the bomb. So, three important reasons why you want to learn bombos. Of course, this is targeted towards more mid-tier or higher level players. Just want to make the currently known and understood routes more accessible to everybody. Alright, so that's our agenda. So we talked about our audience, you guys, what I intend to show, just the basic principles of the robot bombo, why it's important to know, and now there's two sorts of combos. There are lots of of course, combos are very much on the spectrum. Now, some segments could be always repeatable. You could just read them off a flowchart and not even look at the screen, just press the buttons, and then the combo will play out and you get your damage. Okay. Occasionally, a combo can have a more dynamic and less flowcharty aspect where there's a lot of interaction. You have to guess certain things. You have to add a little bit of variety in positioning every now and then to achieve certain things, depending on whether or not your opponent has certain resources or whether you have certain resources, the amount of HP they have, how much resources you want to spend, and XYZ amount of factors involved. Now, this, of course, Ninja's been changing in very ridiculous ways, so I can't show you a Ninja example, but this is a fairly repeatable combo. It's a standard starter, DI down and away. You get first slash. DI away is also a little different, but it's pretty much the same. You put a foresight down. I usually use visualize a little triangle, like here. I visualize a little triangle in prediction like this. That's just how I figured out. Of course, different people do it differently. It's pistol whip, very good damage. This usually links into pommel, and I got lucky. I positioned right at pommel, horizontal slash, and impale. And that's the damage I got. I teleported. I got a guaranteed vertical slash Oki. Of course, he could tech right of it, but he risks full combo. And this is fairly repeatable. In fact, I will try repeating it now. I'll take down this. Alright. Press household this. Let's do DIY this time. And make this a little faster. Okay. Put approximately where this goes is here. I think where slash connects. Perfect. And let's do this. Because this is like the probably more common route. So I'm visualizing a triangle right now. This is just how it works for me. This position may not be great actually. I might need to put this a little further. Yeah, I like this triangle a little more. Looks more equilateral. Okay, teleport here. For the pistol whip, of course, there's something to be said about teleporting to have upswipe pistol whip mix, but it's not really important. Do that. Stinger. Like, I'm not even checking a lot of things. Like, I already know this is gonna land. So this is like a very repeatable combo. Pommel connects, blah blah blah, la 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 la. Do this. Horizontal slash. If I get lucky, something else might connect. I do that. This used to drop a lot more often. Oh, you get a wall bounce on this. That's really funny. But I'm gonna end it here. Decently repeatable, very simple. And because of how the DI was, I don't need to teleport for any Oki, I just do that. Of course, I could, for example, push this and do a backslash, free cancel, so I can completely frame kill, get up, and get a guaranteed Oki, given that they do not tank much. So this is one kind of combo. Now, one important character to know about Bombos is that it's one of those combos where it's sometimes you can repeat certain aspects of it over and over again, but it's pretty dynamic. You'll find yourself trying to, like, seeing new scenarios that you haven't labbed before, and you'll need to make a specific positioning for the bomb has to be aimed differently and whatnot. So I'm going to show you a few examples later when we're done, but the solution to being able to this issue is, like, you want to know what to look for in order to freestyle and make a Bombo work on the spot. Something about Bombos you should know is that it's very dynamic. So I can't tell you, oh yeah, do this move, this move, this move. Okay, like Ninja, my usual bread and butter. Skull shaker, drop kick, nil air dash, dash, nunchuck into whatever goes next. Okay, but that's not what a Bombo is. Bombos are, like, here's our static combos are here, and dynamic combos are here. Of course, every combo is different. In any point of a combo, it can move between these 2 points, or stay at one completely, or stay over here completely. It depends on what's happening. There's a lot of examples. Bombos are very, very dynamic sometimes, but there's sometimes it could fluctuate a lot. Now, this is why you need to learn just a few principles so you are able to cook up a combo or Bombo whenever you want. Okay, so let's go over a few things. Ignore this. This hasn't. I just left that in from earlier. So we talk about two things. These frames here. Okay, when you hit bomb, you get at least the initial hitbox, because bomb is 2 hitboxes. The shell itself and the detonation, right? You can just by aiming the bomb differently, like you see this, by aiming it differently, you're gonna get different frame events. You want to get as much frames as possible. 6 is too little. Okay, 14 is, I think, okay. You're gonna be close, maybe. 25 is excellent. Okay, and it varies. Eventually, you'll figure out how to get these frames. Okay, so that's one thing, and I'll show you. So, let's say, for example, I did How do I do this? Whatever, let me just do an example combo. Okay, now you see I could just do this 7 frames. Instead, I could aim it differently. There you go, 21. That's a lot. That's a lot of frames. That's a lot of frames. So this is just an example of how dynamic it can be, right? CDP, or Christmas tree packet. But essentially what this means is that, for example, you have a multi-hits. There's multi-hits in this game. There's something called a launch counter, and there's also multi-hits. You need to know both of them. Hence why the audience is kind of limited, because you need to understand a lot of concepts before you get into bombos. Right, multi-hits, it's a single button, right? Like chainsaw, saw blade, chuck heavy. They whether they're cancelable or not, it's a single move, it's a multi-hit. And 3 combo up for cowboy is a multi-hit. For robot, chainsaw is a multi-hit. For mutant, the corkscrew is a multi-hit. And it's not like each hit scales the combo by 1. Okay, multi-hits themselves are unskilled most of the time, right? And there's something called the launch counter. Every 7th hit launches your combo. The 7th hit launches. You combine that with the multi-hit. Let's do a which is the most iconic multi-hit? Chainsaw. Let's just do chainsaw. Chainsaw, like multi-hits, and the 7th hit, you think, wow, how can I manipulate this so my combo always stays on the ground? Once you reach your 6th hit of the combo, you're gonna use a multi-hit next, because you gotta make sure the first hit of the multi-hit launches you, okay, and you don't even have to restand them the next turn because it's a multi-hit. The second hit immediately glues them to the floor, right? You do this with chainsaw to keep people stuck in the corner. Now, Christmas tree packet is the same idea with bomb. And of course, bomb is a multi-hit, which is crazy. Some people don't know that, but it really is. The first hit is the shell, second hit is detonation. You make sure it's like the 6th hit or so should be, okay, by the time you reach the 6th hit, you should have planned ahead to do a CTP, pull off Christmas tree packet. You throw the shell hits and launches you, up into the air, and then the detonation immediately restands you and glues you to the ground. Okay, so you gotta do that, and I'll show you an example that Garbage cooked up. And, well, of course, Mip had a contributor to this as well, so it's important to, it's cool to know, a lot of people just work on this game, they love flabbing it, which is awesome, whatever. Anyway, let's go to the corner and show you an example of some of these things. This is like the most repeatable, least dynamic part of the Bombo. Like, this is very easily repeatable. They get up, decide, I'm gonna press. You get them. Ricky when I catch them, I mean. Flip jumpstart so you can flip their DI. So you hit them on that side. And now you get to have your fun. Look how many frames that is. And you hit them on the right side of their hurt box. Now their DI is just not letting them DI towards you. So if you get a detonation, you get a lot of frames. You get a ton of frames. Okay? In fact, I could have done that better. See, I could have made myself land and do this. That's not enough frames. So I wish I had more frames. Yeah, I got 21. You got 19. See, it's like, this is dynamic. You're just gonna have to learn how to, manipulate your predictions. See, I have 19 frames. I still have 19 frames to put down the flamethrower. Yep, honestly, not a fan of a flamethrower. Let's do 75. Like, I'm not gonna stretch this combo for very long. I don't have an example of the Christmas tree packet. Like I'll try to do another combo and make another example, so please bear with me. Just an easy 5k, and you get your OK as well. And I'll show you a little trick as well for people who watched the video, liked and subscribed. I'll show you a little trick. Okay, so you already know the meaty press push block, you get a little pushback, right? Like you want to use chainsaw instead because it deals more chip. I assume it deals more chip. I think it's longer IASA, so push block pushes you back a little further, and your pressure's kind of fake. Or at least it's not as good as it should be. So what's the solution? I'll show you. So this first hit comes at frame 11. Only a single chainsaw blade hits. Like a chainsaw blade hits once. Anyway, so now in terms of the Christmas tree packet, let me just do this. Let me just pretend they're like this is a real thing. Blah blah blah. Okay, this hit launches. Pretty sure it launches. Okay, let's just ignore the flames here for a moment. Okay, let's do that. Instant cancel immediately. We got the hits done. See, now that it launches. See, it's the 7th hit, it launches. But you press the funny detonate button, and we pulled off a Christmas tree.